Hi guys, it's me, Element 2909. Some of you may know me by my real name, Martin, but that is what it is. Anyway, today it's not a gaming vid. It's not, really anything related to gaming. It's a personal vlog. It's my thought on the Art Institutes and the fact that they're pretty much going down. They are being shut down pretty much everywhere. I mean, like, the only places that are still open are, like, what, 3 or 4 locations in Texas. Las Vegas is open for now anyway because they found, like, a last-minute buyer. You kind of feel sad for that buyer because pretty sure they're going to end up closing the Las Vegas location, within the next, couple of months, maybe. And it sucks even more for the students, man. And that's one of the reasons why I'm making this video. It's for the current students and people like me who have graduated. Now, me personally, I went to the Art Institutes from June of 2011 to December of 2015. I was enrolled in the audio production program at the Art Institute of California Inland Empire. And I really enjoyed the audio program. I had some really great teachers, learned a lot, and despite the crippling debt and the shitty reputation that the Art Institute now carries, I'm still glad that I went, if only because of the cool people that I met and the great teachers that I had. But I have since graduated. And of course now, me and others who have graduated are now thinking, okay, so what do we do now that, we've graduated and the school is shutting down? Like, what the fuck do we do? Like, do we take it off our resume? Because it seems kind of like a blight on it. Like, potential employer, like, let's say you take your resume to a studio, or if you're not an audio production student, like, what if you take your resume to, like, an animation studio? Like, if you're an animation student, a photography student, whatever. Basically, you take your resume to a potential employer. Doesn't matter exactly which one, and let's say the person interviewing you looks at the where you went to school. They're like, okay, you went to such and such high school, but then they get to the college portion, and they're like, oh god, he went to the Art Institute. I don't know. And for me personally, I feel like it kind of puts a damper on things. It lessens my chances of finding a job in the audio production field just because of the fact that, oh, hey, this guy went to the Art Institute. Well, at the same time, I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, at this point, I just gotta rely on my skills. I gotta keep on practicing. I've gotta just keep on doing certain, techniques over and over and over again, get them burned into my brain, and then go to a potential employer and, let them see that, hey, yeah, I went to the Art Institute. But also, hopefully get a chance to show them that, hey, this guy is really good. He knows his shit. He knows what he's doing. Let's give him a chance. Maybe the Art Institute put out a few good students after all, And in the end, I think that's the message I want to send with this video. is that forget the Art Institute. Yeah, that's where you got your education. That's where some of you may have graduated from. And whether it turns off potential employers or not, I mean, yeah, that fucking sucks. But in the end, you've got to rely on what you learned. You've got to rely on your skills alone. Keep on practicing on whatever it is, whatever major you were in, whatever skills you learned, keep on practicing those skills, learn new skills. Just keep up to date with current trends in your major that you took. And eventually, someone out there, a potential employer, will be like, hey, you know what? Let's give this person a chance. And I know that what I just said is most likely been said before. A lot. It's cliche. But sometimes, as cheesy or as cliche as these things are, they're true. So just keep on going. Just keep on, keep on trucking. Oh, God. I'm starting to talk like them Southerners. You heard? But it really does suck. And you know what it really sucks for is I've heard that some students that were like a quarter away from graduating, or hell, they were in their last quarter. And then their school just fucking closes. And they're fucking pissed off. That is understandable. The school fucking screwed you over, and now you're left with a mountain of debt, and you're just like, oh, what the hell do I do? Well, depending on where you got your loans from, you may be able to either file for an IDR, which is a income-driven repayment plan, or you can have your loans forgiven. Now, having your loans forgiven is not a guarantee, and neither is the IDR. Now, luckily, I was able to get an IDR, and the type of IDR I'm on is a revised Earn As You Pay plan. Basically, or Pay As You Earn plan. Which is basically they will adjust the amount that you're supposed to pay each month in relation to how much you're earning. So, like, say you have a minimum wage job at, say, McDonald's or somewhere like that. They will take a look at your earnings each year based on information from the IRS. And they will say, okay, so this person makes such and such, and okay, so we'll adjust their payment. Now, initially, when I started with the IDR plan, I was paying nothing per month because, I was employed at the time, but I was earning so little that they were like, okay, so he won't be able to actually make any payments, so they revised it. But then I transferred to another location, another store in the same company, and I was making more. And then I started to actually have to pay something, but it's a low monthly payment. Now, now, as great as that may seem, there are some downsides. Interest, for one, that will add more to your balance eventually. It is not recommended if you can actually make the initial monthly payment. Like, if you're making enough and you can make the, hundreds of dollars, even like $1,100 a month payment, it is recommended that you go ahead and do that. It fucking sucks, I know, but it's recommended that you do that because in the long run, it'll benefit you. But if you absolutely cannot, then go ahead and try the IDR. And in some cases, after a certain amount of time, your loans will be forgiven. However, that does not mean that you have free money from the government. You, in all likelihood, will still end up paying for it, which fucking sucks. But you know what? It's the fucking government. What are you gonna do? They're like, give me my money. Me. Here, let's tax you for some stupid shit. But you know. Now, as for loan forgiveness, you can try that too. I have seen a couple places where you can try and file for loan forgiveness because the school you went to closed down. I'm not sure. I don't really have a whole lot of information on that. But you are more than welcome to try it, of course. But I did get off track a little bit here. Now, as for the students, like, I personally, some of my friends who were at the Art Institute of California Inland Empire, a couple of people who you have seen me play with on this channel, were at the school when it closed down. Now, there was a couple of them I know transferred to other schools out close to where they live. Now, a couple more, they transferred out to the Hollywood location, the Hollywood Art Institute. You know, it's good for them. You know, you get to continue in your education. And I didn't really think that, you know, the Art Institute of Hollywood was going to close down. And it fucking sucks for these people. And especially, you know, my couple friends who thought, hey, you know, we get to continue our education, you know, and then all of a sudden, fuck, the school closed down. And to those people, Smaffic, he's appeared on this channel, but, you know, Smaffic in particular, I feel for you, man. I'm sorry that you got screwed over by a greedy-ass fucking company. And actually, in some instances, in a couple locations, there was a little bit of rioting, some looting. And hey, you know, the school fucking ripped you off. I understand. You want to fucking take something from them. And I ain't gonna stop you. I ain't gonna say, hey, don't fucking do it. Just, you know, try not to get fucking caught. You know? If you can swipe something from one of the labs, if you can, you know, take some equipment and, you know, no one comes after you about it, more power to you. But, you know, it really does suck. And as for why they're closing down, apparently the company that bought out the entire chain of, you know, Art Institute campuses was not handling funds so very well. There were some allegations that funds that were supposed to go back to the students were then redirected to staff at the Art Institute. They were used for, you know, bills, maybe to buy new equipment. All I really know is that it did not go to the students, and the students were defrauded. They were ripped off. It's fucking stupid. And I know that they had their federal funding cut off when the Department of Education started really looking into them. Heard some of these allegations and decided that, hey, you know what, you're not getting any of our money. And so that's when things really, you know, that's when campuses really started closing, like, you know, one after the other. At least that's how I understand it. And this isn't the first time that the Art Institute has been embroiled in controversy. Back in like 2009, 2010, there were allegations that the previous owner of the Art Institute was involved in cooking the books, as it were, falsifying enrollment numbers, employment numbers post, graduation. And that's another thing that's fucking annoying. Like, me personally, when I enrolled, I was told, hey, yeah, we're going to help you out after you graduate for about 6 months, help you find a job, help you get you into that industry. And, well, guess what? They didn't. Now, I know that I am responsible, normally for finding my own fucking job. Which, okay, that's fine. But hey, I was told I was going to be helped. I was told that I was going to be basically looked after for 6 months. And they didn't. And like, I've heard reports of some people getting like Craigslist ads when talking to their employment advisors, student emails them like, hey, can you help me out here? Do you have any job leads? Oh, here's a Craigslist ad, or here's a not a MySpace. Fuck, I don't know. MySpace hasn't been a thing for a while. Here's a Facebook Marketplace ad. Here's an eBay ad. Here, just things you wouldn't normally think a professional would be like, giving you. But that's what they did. Me personally, I emailed the guy who was supposed to help me a couple times, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna get back to you. Just hold on, I'm gonna get back to you. And it's been, what, nearly 4 years? Nothing. And now the school's closed down. So, that's that. But, yeah. It's generally just it's a fucking terrible situation for, teachers, students, and also that's another thing. Don't get mad at your teachers. I mean, not all of them. Most of them are probably not even in on this. Most of them are in the same boat as you. They're out of a fucking job. Some of them may have, jumped ship as soon as they noticed there was a problem, but others are out of a fucking job. They just learned the day that that this campus is closing. Like, hey, you're fired. But at the same time, it's just, it's just a terrible situation. And I'm sorry that all of you had to go through this shit, And I hope things work out for all of you in the end. Because I'm sure some of you would still like to get a job in the field that you went to study for. And I hope you do. I really do. Well, yeah, that's basically it. This is Element 2909 signing off, and see you in the next one.